Oh my God, Shohei is a Dodger, and his contract got deferred. Yamamoto's a Dodger too. Like, there's so much shit happening. Let's get this shit going, cause we're branded now. So let's roll. It's Christmas. And welcome back to another episode of Prairie Avenue. It is a special holiday episode. I should have brought out my Santa hat. Actually, it doesn't even fit my head anymore. It's 3:30. I have to get ready after this just because it's Christmas Eve and we have to go deliver all the presents. I've been promising a YouTube and people have been complaining, so we're on it now. We have a whole logo system. We're gonna fix it. But if you're on the YouTube, you can see all the Christmas presents behind me. Oh wow. Ah, Jesus, it feels good to be back. I know I haven't really done anything, and that's on me. I'm not gonna lie, but just been trying to do a lot and trying to find a way to organize this and get this all through together. So hopefully you guys like the way it's coming out and how I'm slowly trying to improve it, get a little more professional. And in 6 days, or starting Saturday, I have a basketball tournament, and I'm gonna be calling for Hope International. So really, really crazy times. But we just got to get into it because I missed a lot. The LA Kings are crazy. The Lakers have fallen off after winning that mid-season tournament. The Rams are like, don't fuck with us. The Chargers are just not it. There's so much happening, and we have to really tap in. But yeah, I mean, today we just got to get through the baseball. All right, we have major news. The last episode, obviously I broke out that Shohei Ohtani is a Dodger, and now we got some more some more like contract deferral stuff, and apparently there's a lot of big news and people are upset, um, and that's just what I want to tap into. Like the what one thing we got to get through is this shit's the contract is huge. 10 years, 700 million. Everyone's like, how the fuck is that even possible? How can the Dodgers even afford to, I mean, pay that much? I mean, you're paying Mookie 40 already, and he has deferrals on his contract. Freddie's deferred. There's so much money that's like backed up, and everyone's like, well, is it the owner? Is it like, are we just gonna sell the team after the 10-year run with Shohei? Like, is it not their problem? Like, what the fuck is happening? And that's a lot of big questions because I mean, if you really think about it, it's scary. I mean, like I'm happy. I'm happy as fuck. I'm gonna get that Shohei jersey once them back orders are getting through for 3 weeks. But it's a little scary. I gotta admit. Obviously, you you want your team to win and you want your team to be competitive and at some point spend money and here in LA we're spoiled. We're spoiled that a lot of our teams and a lot of our owners have money and can spend money cuz if you're a Cincinnati Reds fan or shit at this point even like an Angels fan sometimes where you only really sign here and there. I mean, it's scary because what we saw with San Diego, and if you don't know what's happening in San Diego, they had to pull out a $70 million loan to pay their players because of how many superstars they signed into these big $300 million contracts and they couldn't afford it. Um, so it's a little intimidating. I gotta say that I'm worried, but at the same time I'm not because our owner for the Dodgers, Greg Walters, is he's like the owner of some fucking realty stock market thing in New York, and I don't think he's worth like $325 billion. He's I mean, he's on the Forbes top 100. I mean, we're talking about more than half the owners in Major League Baseball don't even reach Forbes 100. And Forbes 100, you're talking about the richest of the rich, and he's up there. Um, it's crazy. It's fucking insane to even think about it. So at the same time, when I'm like, oh shit, like how are we gonna afford that? And now you're adding Yamamoto to the money. What the hell? Where are we, pumping out all this money from? And now I look, I'm like, you know what? He's on top, Forbes top 100. I'm fine. I'm cool with it. And basically, it's crazy to think about. Like I'm gonna say crazy a bunch of times, but that's what it is. It's insane to even think about that. We have Shohei for 10 years and $700 million, but the deferral is absolutely like crazier. Like there's just no other way to put it. He, if you can do the math, like I said last time, he's doing 70 million each year because 700 divided by 10 is $70 million every year. However, apparently Shohei was actually the one who thought about the idea and was really all for it. Is to do only get paid $2 million every year, deferring basically like pushing back his salary, $68 million a year. He's letting go $68 million a year because he wants to make sure that the most important part is to remain competitive and we could pay other players to come into the Dodgers. And that's insane. Like the one, it shows you what kind of person he is. To be fair, he's not going to be short of money with all the sponsorship deals. He's going to get all the other kind of money he can bring in. So he's fine. But when it comes to the actual salary and how the Dodgers can manage their players financially, he's all for it. He said, "I'll take the pay cut. I don't care. Let's just try to make sure we're winning." And apparently in that meeting, the most important thing was that I guess the Dodgers said the last 10 years have been a failure because they've only won one World Series ring, and a lot of people discredit it because it was during COVID and it was a shortened season. So there's like so much, and shout out to Shohei because someone that does that is, I mean, it speaks fucking, I don't know, a million words to who Shohei is as a person and where his priorities are, and obviously the priorities is to get a ring. So that's that's just badass, dude. I mean, you can't really put that into words, but there's other numbers into the AAV and shit, but it's more complicated, and this isn't what this podcast is about. We're just here to dive in. But there's other money and other shit that can go into it for taxes of Dodgers and how much money they're losing. Either way, they're getting a huge cut on the AAV. So it's insane. I mean, Shohei's like, let's fucking do it, and I gotta love it. So, but the other news, which is like crazy, is he takes a deferral. They have a meeting with Yamamoto, like I think like a day or two later. Yamamoto is at Dodger Stadium. The pictures on social media, on Twitter or X, are flying through, and it's literally on the big ass jumbotron. Welcome Yamamoto. They're hyping him up, saying he'll get number 18. Shohei, Mookie Betts, Freddie. A lot of players were present at the meeting, and really just putting emphasis that they want to win, and that's amazing. Like it's crazy. Like what they wanted to do, and they just had one meeting with him, and a lot of other teams were in on him. San Francisco, they were in on him. San Diego supposedly, but they got the other Soji or something like that, a closer from Japan. They focused on him, but really the other people that were locked in were the Yankees and the Mets. And you talking about the two New York teams balling out. Cohen, Steve, for the owner of the Mets, was like, big baller. I'm gonna come in. We could buy rings. We could buy championships to just spend money. And the drama, to put this into perspective, is Yamamoto had two dinners with each team. Like he already had like a dinner and a meeting with the Yankees and the Mets, and then he was getting other offers, and he basically said, "Let's have another meeting because we need to really reestablish what we're trying to do here." That's crazy. I mean, first of all, he's getting free food, like he's just balling out. But he decided to get just like, what? I don't know how I feel about this. Why don't we have another dinner? And apparently he went to Steve Cohen's home, and they had like a private dinner there with other players. The Yankees were doing that too. They were also going to have another private dinner. I mean, really just trying to put emphasis on, hey, you should come play with us for these reasons. Um, and I guess the Yankees gave him a contract of opt-ins, so he'll have, like, he's 25 years old, so he's really young. And if he basically he wants, everyone was concerned was, is he going to try to hit free agency again? He's a free agent now, and there's a deadline, and he can either sign the rest of his career away like Shohei for 10 years, or you could do like 4 years and you can choose to opt in for another 4 or for another 2. Like the Yankees and the Mets were giving him options, and the Dodgers were straight 10 years, 350, or I think it was a little bit below, and they were just kind of a little bit at a bidding war. But the Dodgers offered the 325, I believe. Let me just click this little tab real quick. 325 on the 12 years, 325. They decided to offer him that, and according to Passan and other sources, apparently the Mets and the Yankees were given opportunity to match, and he still chose the Dodgers after I believe the Yankees matched it. Like that's crazy. Because everybody was in on like, oh, Yamamoto's gonna go to the Yankees, Yamamoto's gonna go to the Mets. Like it was so New York that it felt like the Dodgers were so out of him because they only had that one meeting with him, and obviously Shohei was there, who, by the way, they won the WBC together, which is like the World Baseball Classic, like the World Cup of baseball. They won that shit together. So they're already best buds. So I'm assuming Shohei was just in there like, come on, bro. Like, if I'm telling you to come, you should probably come, you know? So it's crazy that it was all New York. It was a New York party for Yamamoto, and now we're here. And now he just signed with the Dodgers for 12 years, 325. Fucking amazing. So far, no word of deferrals, but combined, the Dodgers have now paid, or I guess signed or spent. Yeah, spent would be the best word. Spent over $1 billion in the last month, let alone 2 weeks. So that's huge. I mean, $1 billion in the last 2 weeks is crazy. And I'm telling you, I'm a little worried because I'm not trying to get myself into a Padres situation where we need to start, going to different banks and pulling out loans to pay the players. But it seems like the Dodgers know exactly what they're doing, and we're hoping to see what happens next. Joe Kelly already got the swap, the number swap. Joe Kelly, our relief pitcher, that's he's been on what I think. Well, he's just with the Dodgers or Red Sox, Dodgers, White Sox. I know he went to the White Sox, but I don't know if he went to the Red Sox before that again. And then now back with the Dodgers. He was originally number 17. He said he'd be more than willing to give 17 to Shohei if he shows up. Joe Kelly gives Shohei number 17 after he signs. And as a thank you to Joe Kelly's wife, Shohei buys her a Porsche. So if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It's fucking amazing. But he literally bought her a Porsche to kind of say thank you for like the whole take 17. Like it's crazy. And I mean, Shohei's just a guy, bro. Like everyone in the comments was like, "Hey, yo, Shohei's already starting the LA Riz," and it's crazy. Like he's doing shit. Got Yamamoto here. They just had like this world famous Japanese like dinner last like 2 nights ago, and that photo was blowing up. Like they were already best buds, and you could tell they get along very well. And you were hoping that they stay that way. And I mean, you gotta honestly, I gotta say that has to feel amazing for Yamamoto. I guess there's a big thing about coming into the MLB and obviously establishing yourself with a different team. Um, but he came in with Shohei, and he's really like, I look. You have to have a lot of respect for people that come into different countries and play a sport that is like, think about it. If you're Japanese or vice versa, you're playing baseball, you're doing something that you're good at, but unfortunately you get no opportunity, or there's more money out in Japan for you, and you go to Japan and they're not going to start speaking English for you. They're going to keep it like that. If 50 players speak Japanese and you're the only one that speaks English, you better switch up. So it takes a lot. You got to move out. It's a different culture. There's different plannings. You got a family. What's the whole situation? And now you're talking about Yamamoto coming over here to the U.S., having to learn a new language, and even Shohei. I mean, I think he knows more English than what's made out to seem, but he still has a translator with him everywhere he goes. So I got to say, I think it had to play a huge part in it that Shohei is telling him, you can hang out with me. Shit, they'll probably live together. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. But Yamamoto has to feel better knowing, dang, at least there's another Japanese guy with me. Shohei can be by my side. We'll go to practice together. We'll do this. We'll practice that. Like, it has to feel better and make you feel more comfortable, especially coming into a new team, and let alone you're coming into a freaking mega dome of the Los Angeles Dodgers. They're You're talking about competing for rings, and there's a lot of pressure, and he's never pitched in MLB, and that's another conversation that people are like, well, why are you paying him so much? He's never pitched in MLB. Well, if it's the equivalent of Cy Youngs and winning shit over there, I mean, hopefully he does amazing, and I have true faith that he will. But it's crazy. I mean, I have to say, I think it's all like, I was checking on my phone, and it said Yamamoto. I'm screaming on my freaking face. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? There's no way, because it was just all New York, and now he's here. And if you really think about it, it just makes that much more sense that he's here in LA and gonna be hanging out with Shohei for a little bit. So, um, yeah, man, that's fucking crazy. I, I can't put into words how much it like made me like jump out of excitement. But either way, yeah, it's just been crazy. Like all the news that's been happening with the Dodgers. One thing I also wanted to throw out there was, I mean, I don't know if you even saw. I mean, there's so much that's been happening. So the Rams just had their last home game here against the Saints. Really wanted to go, but it was Thursday night, just a little more expensive, and I don't know. I kind of wussied out of buying the tickets last minute. They were like $30. Um, but first of all, Shohei comes to the Dodgers, and all of a sudden, the city of LA is acting like he's never been in Los Angeles, and I just think that's fucking hilarious because he's literally been here for what 27 six years. He's been here for a while already, and people are hyping it up like, oh, like dude, Shohei is LA now, and look, you're an Angels fan, you're an Angels fan, but you gotta understand, like that shit just says a lot about your fucking franchise. That the Rams won a Super Bowl when they were here, when Shohei was here, and now they're acting now that Shohei signed with the Dodgers and he comes visit the Rams for the first time. That like all of a sudden like, dude, this guy's actually in LA now. It actually counts now. That's like you don't see Trout at these games. It's literally Dodgers, Lakers, what? Fuck, I'm blanking. What's up? The Kings? Like, nah, I guess the Ducks you could argue, but those are the teams that are like legit here. You know, like those are the teams that like you'll see a Rams player at the Lakers game or vice versa. It's not Chargers. And it sucks to say, but that's to me that's just crazy. Like they were all acting like Shohei has never lived in LA before, and I'm like, dude, he's been here for 6, 7 years. And now all of a sudden he's at the Rams locker room saying what's up to Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp. Aaron Donald got a photo with him. Like the whole crowd was going crazy. Like everybody is just like, look at Shohei, he's here in LA, and everyone's like, bro, he's been here for 7 or 6 years, and now all of a sudden we're gonna act like he's here. But that has to go on a part with the Angels and shit. So I don't know. They're just on their own thing, and that's actually a pretty good segue because the Angels haven't done shit really, like at all. Everyone's still confused on what Anthony Rendon is gonna do. Mike Trout is the big conversation. Is he gonna get traded? I think he will. Why? Because I think you just gotta cash in, dude. If at this point, if you're just gonna start trying to rebuild and do this whole farm system, but they're saying they want to contend, but they're not signing anybody crazy. They're signing like two relief pitchers. I forgot their fucking names to 1 year veteran minimums. That's how irrelevant the news is for the Angels right now. It's if you're gonna start with the rebuild and if you're trying to restart your franchise, really focus on the farm system, and you're not really gonna be that competitive because if we're talking about their division, I'm taking the Astros. The Rangers are gonna be there again next year. The freaking what the Mariners? I will take the Mariners over you any day. And yes, you're gonna beat the Athletics, but that's because the Athletics aren't doing shit. They are literally just throwing, just walking in Call of Duty, fucking full send, no gun, just running out with the knife, just hopes for the best. It's come on. There's a some point where I'm like, I think they just have to trade him. That's my opinion. Some people are just saying he's a franchise player, just a living legend. Sure, but he's just wasting his career. Everyone wants to see him as a Philly. Sure, that'll be amazing. But honestly, as long as he goes somewhere that they're gonna contend and seeing Mike Trout in a playoff game, that's all I want to see. I don't give a fuck. I just want to see Mike Trout in a playoff game. I want to see Shohei in a playoff game. Anthony Rendon, I give two fucks about, and that's because he's a baby about everything. But the Angels is, I don't know. Like everyone's saying that they're gonna contend. Ron Washington, we're gonna put our foot forward, and I believe in Ron Washington, whatever the hell he's gonna do. But do I think they're over the Mariners right now? No, ain't no way. Ain't no way. They're not. They're not gonna be over the Mariners. Even the Mariners haven't done much regarding of signings, but I just it's hard to say that the Angels are really going to do anything. So why have Rendon there? Why not trade Trout? I mean, it's over. That it's dead. You're talking Shohei's gone. You have nothing. It's just Ron Washington, the hype in the beginning, and it's dying down. They have a really good young core. I mean, Ohape, Neto, they have a really good, solid young core, and they could really rebuild around that. And honestly, I'm comparing them to the Kansas City Royals of what they're doing and trying to kind of maneuver their way in. The Royals have actually been signing some shit too, so they're looking to step up because the White Sox are done. I mean, the Guardians, I can't even count them as second place anymore because the Detroit Tigers are trying to get in there. See how like they're trying to remain competitive, and the Angels haven't done much to sign to prove to me or anybody in LA that they're gonna be a great team. So it's a hard thing to say, and I don't and I think it's a shame. But the Angels, I just don't think are gonna do that well this year, and I think it's just crazy. But anyways, on to better news. Not to really better news, but to kind of end out this episode, we're gonna do a quick segment, which is just NL and AL West predictions for 2024. Um, well, our divisions West. So I want to start off with Angels because we're already on them, and I think I already kind of explained myself. This is my prediction. Um, Prediction just on ratings. I'm not gonna go too much in the numbers because I gotta start doing math and shit. And I have some numbers, but I think it's just stupid. Um, I think the Rangers are gonna attempt to run it back. I don't think they're gonna make it to the World Series, but I do think they're gonna make it to the CS and probably take out the Astros again. So um, I'm taking I'm taking the Rangers into at least a 95 to 100 win game, 100 games won. So that's where I'm gonna take them. It's honestly, if Corey Seager remains healthy and not a lot of injuries can bash him this year, oh yeah, I'm taking the Rangers all day. You know, obviously Jordan Montgomery, the loss of him is pretty big, but I think they can do it. That's just on me. I honestly feel like because Corey Seager was hurt for a good amount of the season, but he came back in the clutch. And imagine if they had him all year. Oh yeah, you'll take the Rangers. However, the Astros are for sure going to be right behind them. That's an obvious pick. Obviously, the loss of Dusty Baker that's a little crazy, but I think they're still going to be competitive. If anything, the most you'll see them is fighting for a wild card spot, or at least the least would be the wild card spot, and right under them would be the Mariners. That's for sure. You know, J Rod still got him. He's still fucking in that division. Like there's the Mariners are sneaky, man. They'll get in there. So I'm not gonna be like, holy shit, like wow, why are the Mariners? No. The Mariners are going to be there. Fourth place is going to go to the Angels, and that's like what I just said. The Athletics, they're not doing anything. So, and if the Angels fall under the Athletics, that's crazy. So, but as for the NL West, I we're gonna take the Dodgers, obviously, first place. And hopefully all goes well there, and we fucking show out this season and take it to the World Series. First year Shohei and then immediately go to the World Series. That's crazy. And if that happens, I don't even know. I'll just go crazy. And that to me is a success. First year World Series. I'm not asking you to win. I'm just asking you to be there. Um, Second place, I'm not gonna lie, the Padres are scary. Um, if they actually show out this year, obviously they just lost Soto, but and Grisham, but I still think they're a little bit better than the Giants. The Giants play better baseball, that's for sure. But after the loss of Gabe Kepler, I don't really believe in them that much, to be honest with you. Um, it's right there. They're both like at a 75 to 80 win ratio. And the Padres should be way higher than that shit, like 80, like 85 to 90. And it's small game differences, but those numbers of you saying I'm an 80 win team compared to an 87 win team, it's 7 games can really like change the outlook of how the entire league looks at you. And fuck, now I'm thinking about it. You know what? I'll just take the Padres just because Padres will go second place. I think they're just a better team. I think they can do it. Um, San Francisco Giants. I'll take San Francisco third. They just haven't done much, and they were in on Shohei, they were in on Yamamoto, they were in on these huge free agency signings, but nobody has like gone to really like consider the Giants to be a landing location for anybody. So I don't know what's gonna happen there, but if I'm not mistaken, they just added Bob Melvin, so that's another. I mean, I think a lot of people would rather take Bob Melvin over Gabe Kapler, but Kapler's just been there for so long that I felt like they already had the routine going. But whatever. Point is, San Francisco, I'll take them third. Actually, I don't even know. Not I forgot about the Diamondbacks. Fuck. Mm. Yeah, there's no question. I'll still put the Padres over the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks will be third, but fighting for wild card. I don't know if they're gonna run it back. It was a wonderful season, and that's everyone's gonna be giving shit because it's like, oh, now all of a sudden like everyone's gonna be bad. Yeah, like, am I gonna believe in that team to do it again and knock us out? Fuck no. But that's just me being a Dodger fan. But in me taking a step back and not being a Dodger fan and taking that out of me, I do think they'll fall short. I don't know why, but it was a miracle run. If they don't fall short, they're gonna start off hot, but I don't know about the middle of the season towards the end. Um, it'll be close between the Padres and Diamondbacks again. Then it'll be the Giants, and then it'll be the Rockies on the bottom because they haven't done shit either. Chris Bryant is still there, if you remember who Chris Bryant was. So it's I don't know. That's actually pretty mixy. So I think the NL West is going to be something to really look out for. Um, but yeah, for sure that's gonna be really exciting. I mean, we have a lot of baseball coming up, and if you really think about it, in 7 days it's already gonna be the first, and from then we only have like what 2 months until the whole spring training and everything starts getting into full motion. Fast as fuck. Like just the way the year has gone by and what's next, and it's insane. Um, but yeah, I mean uh, fuck, it's crazy how quickly this year has gone by, and what's next. So as for that, I'm gonna end it there. Um, I just wanted to spit out an episode because I have a lot of friends like, "Where the fuck did you go?" And I'm like, "No, I'm still working. I'm like, I'm actually trying." uh, but we still gotta fix some stuff. I got some feedback on this little thing on the YouTube. If you check out the YouTube, please, because I think it looks pretty good. New avenues. Oh, I forgot to say it. Well, my segments are called New Avenues. Um, just because like I don't know, like I thought it would be smart, but now I think about now saying it out loud. Nah, I think it's alright. I'll stick with it. Just it sounds a little cringy, but it'll work. Either way, thank you again for staying all the way for another episode. The next one, I need to talk about the Lakers, man. We got to hop in for the Lakers and Kings. We're like falling behind, and there's just so much. It's hard to keep up with a lot, but I mean, I'm keeping it on my own, but doing it here, it's pretty difficult. But thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate y'all. It's 4:06. I got to shower, get ready. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to every single one of you. Hope you have a really good end to your year, and Christmas is the one time of the year where I feel like you kind of have to be happy sometimes and just appreciative, and regardless of your situation. um, so I hope every single one of you is doing amazing. I wish you the best. Whether it's just you and your significant other, you and your family, or just you alone, I wish you the best, and happy holidays and Merry Christmas. I'll catch y'all later, y'all.